everyone, so welcome back. It's the second video of today. There's a third one coming in 2 hours at 5:30 UK time or 12:30 in the afternoon US time. So I am still catching up and I have a way to go. But in the previous illustrations, or 2 illustrations actually, I have created this kind of look with the iridescent watercolor, and that was the Daniel Smith cactus flower. I really enjoyed it, but I didn't want to kind of just start using that one color and kind of be hung up on it. Instead, I realized I had a second duochrome in my other palette, and that's the Daniel Smith Iridescent Scarab Red. Now that's a really neat color because it actually has more of a base color compared to the cactus flower. Cactus flower is reminiscent of Potter's pink without the granulation if you look straight onto it. However, if you tilt it, then you have this purple electric blue iridescence. With the iridescent scarab red, it's actually a very beautiful color when you look at it straight ahead without tilting anything. It's got this kind of like a red chocolate type of color, and if you tilt it, it has a beautiful green iridescence to it. So it's a very, very neat color, and it works equally beautiful as does the cactus flower for a glaze. So I decided to experiment with the iridescent scarab red in this illustration, which you'll see in a minute. But to begin with, I always start the same way, and I actually find it very soothing because it's the 9th illustration today, and at this point my brain knows that I'm going to open up my art journal, I'm going to grab my platinum carbon ink fountain pen, and I'm going to illustrate, doodle flowers. What type of a flower, I don't really know until the moment that it happens. Sometimes I have a vague idea, but most of the times I just start I relax into it, think about flowers, and it just sort of happens there and then. This time I am going for a rose bud, which I really like how it came out. It's more of a closed in bud with loads of petals kind of densely surrounding the middle of the flower. So I really like that flower, how it came out, the drawing itself, but I also love the combo with the watercolor in the end as well. So yeah, I find it super relaxing because it's kind of like a repetitive exercise. Flowers I love illustrating and drawing them, and it's something I haven't done in a long time, and so I find it incredibly therapeutic to be doing these exercises a few times a day. I try to record them in bulk purely because of my schedule, and so I don't illustrate them every day. I sit down and do a large number of illustrations per day, and then generally give myself the next day to edit things and do all of that fun stuff. But I really enjoy that time I spend on doing all of these flowers, which probably is about a couple of hours in one go. And then I really switch off from thinking about anything else, quite literally. Thank you everyone who commented on the previous couple of videos, the one that where I spoke about mental health and well-being, and how I'm trying to do this to create a strong sense of community and feel kind of united and have this us time where we come here, connect, draw flowers together, be positive, and just forget about everything else, really. So thank you so much. All of your comments were so heartfelt, and I felt very lucky to have you and to open up and say the things that you did. So thank you very much. And it goes both ways. You feel that I give you that sense of calmness and peacefulness, and I feel that you give me that drive to find the energy and to do things and push myself, and that makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy and alive in the creative sense of things, because sometimes the creativity can go and you can be sitting there for days and days and not come out with something that you like, which is exactly what happened to me days before I finally got there and started creating these illustrations. So for days I was creating content that I was trying to record, and I was recording, but it just I wasn't feeling it at all. And so the same way, you probably are feeling that sort of inspiration helps you, and I'm very happy to hear that. So thank you very much. Thank you for your support, and I know many of you have been with me right from the start, and you're still there regardless of me going off for a while, not doing much art or illustrating here on YouTube, and maybe just doing hauls and swatches for a while. But it is what it is. I sometimes need to recharge my batteries, and my creativity can come through in other ways, which is not recorded or shared here on YouTube. So I am very appreciative of your patience, and I always try to come back and support one another here. And so I'm enjoying this tremendously, and from what I can read and see from your reactions, you are as well. So I'm happy we are in the same boat. So what I've done there is I have used that beautiful iridescent Scarab red, and that was the only color I used on the flower so far. And then the other colors, I put something a little bit more brighter rather than a muted green, so I went for the gold green by Daniel Smith, which is a lot more green and kind of fresh looking than the core green gold, which is a lot more muted and has that earthy kind of look to it. So essentially I'm just using two colors here, and that is it. I didn't want to add any more watercolors because I thought both of them worked beautifully, and the iridescence comes through in such a gorgeous way that you're not looking just at one color. It becomes a multitude of colors, and it's a lot of fun. Here I'm just adding a few details with the Caran Museum Aquarelle Pencils, and this particular color is the green ochre, and it's a great color to go with Daniel Smith Gold Green because it's a little bit more muted. I'm swatching it out there, and it just adds a little bit of that depth to the corners of the leaves where they start. So just adds a little bit more of a dimension. again, because I didn't want to add any other colors, but I had the white part in the flower, the center of the flower, I decided to just go with the what was it again, the sepia 10%, and that's a very pretty pinkish gray. It's like, the best way to describe it would be taupe. It's a beautiful color, and so if you want to add a little bit of something which is just not the color of the paper, but something to suggest a slight hint of a color, but you don't want to add anything strong, then this is a great way of doing it. And also this color works with a lot of colors, including greens as well. So if you want to have that repetition of color, where it's sort of coming through not just in the flower but repeated throughout the illustration, I enjoy adding it onto the leaves as well. And in some cases I like to leave it as it is for texture purpose, and but mostly I like to add it into a wet area and then just kind of drag it out a little bit onto the dry paper, so it has that merging effect where the pigment dissolves of the lead and then also stays dry on the paper for the texture effect, as I mentioned before. So that's it really. I'm just drying it up here, and I absolutely love how this whole thing came out. I think it's a very airy, a very light, a very breezy illustration. I love how the compositions are coming out. They're feeling very light and natural for me. Light in the sense of easy. It comes natural is what I'm trying to say, and I don't feel like I need to think very hard, as maybe it was in the beginning, of how to start. It just feels very kind of playful and light, and I'm loving these. So that's pretty much it. I'm not sure what I was trying to do here, but a close-up is coming up. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much. See you in the next one.